Hey, what's up everyone? Ashley here. Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies. So, A Quiet Place Part 2 is now out in theaters after being delayed a number of times, and I've been looking forward to this movie for a while because I really enjoyed the first movie, and this movie picks up right where the first movie left off. So, the Abbott family, led by Emily Blunt, is now venturing outside of their home. They're going into the outside world as they continue to fight for survival. Now, before I get into the full review of the film, while I have you here, do me a favor. If you like my channel and you like the videos that I'm posting, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Also, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time a new video is posted. Okay, so on to the review. Quiet Place Part 2, much like its predecessor, is a smartly crafted, well-acted monster movie. It's full of suspense, it's thrilling, it keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's just really, really well done. The story is really straightforward, and thankfully this is a very worthy sequel in that it builds on the concepts that were introduced in the first movie, but also expands the world in a very interesting way. So you get to revisit the characters that you met in the first movie, but then you're also introduced to new characters, and you get a little bit more explanation about what happened, what caused the events in the first movie. The best example of this is in the opening sequence of this movie, which takes you straight back to day one of the event. John Krasinski returns as director for this movie. He also directed the first movie. And he's able to build so much tension and suspense in this opening sequence, just from how he frames the shots for these scenes. Just amazing job across the board. And that's not just with this opening sequence either. Like throughout the movie, he does such a great job with the directing, and how shots are framed, how characters are positioned in those scenes, what the camera chooses to focus on versus what maybe you expect the audience to see. Also, the performances are really strong in this movie. Emily Blunt is back. She's a fantastic actress. She does such an amazing job with her character, and her character in this movie faces some other challenges, and so it's nice to see her show that emotion when dealing with some of those particular problems that arise. Also, Millicent Simmonds does such an amazing job with her character as well. Her character is given a lot more to do in this movie, and she does such a great job with communicating through sign language and showing those emotions. And I really thought her performance was one of the standouts in this movie. Also, as I mentioned, there's some new characters, and one of them is played by Cillian Murphy, who I think is such an underrated actor. I would love to see him in more movies, but he plays one of the neighbors, and he just, from the trailers, I didn't really quite know what his role would be, and I'm happy to say that his role is quite substantial in this movie. The trailers don't really give that indication, and he does a really fantastic job with his character. Now, just like the first movie, this movie is relying a lot on silence, although not as much as the first movie. There's a lot more sound, I felt like, in this movie, but I thought it was used effectively, and I think it was very effective, again, in creating that tension and that suspense. Keeps you on the edge of your seat in so many of the scenes, because there's an expectation and then there's a reality of what happens, and sound plays a huge part in that. Overall, I really enjoyed A Quiet Place Part 2. I mean, I really enjoyed the first movie, and this movie, again, just builds on what was introduced in the first movie. So, there are not a ton of surprises. There are moments that are pretty predictable in this movie, but if you like the first movie, you're probably going to like the second movie, just because it just builds on what was created in the first movie. And a lot of what is done is just expanding that world, introducing some new characters, trying to offer some sort of explanation to what was going on. So those are my thoughts on A Quiet Place Part 2, which is now in theaters. If you get a chance to watch the movie, share your thoughts with me. You can do so in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What you think of the performances? Do you think it's a good sequel? So share those thoughts in the comments below. While you're here, like this video, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this.